up. There is a place in downtown St. Louis called Keener Plaza. It's a really, really neat place. It's like the heart of the city. It's close to the stadium where the Cardinals play. There's some nice hotels and restaurants around there. It's just a nice place, and there's all kinds of gatherings and rallies and stuff like that there. And April 15th, what was it, 2009, is when they had, it was after Obama was elected. They had the first Tea Party rally there, and it was amazing. We went down there. Some people from our church went down there passing out flyers for our website, and it was just absolutely amazing. If you remember for the Watchman video broadcast, not long after that I featured video from these people, and I was amazed. People from all walks of life. Young people, old people, middle-aged people, kids, you name it, black, white, it didn't matter. There was a young couple that I interviewed. They just didn't look Mike Hoggard conservative, all nice and polished and everything like that, had earrings and this, that, and the other. You would think they would be part of the Occupy Wall Street by their appearance, but they weren't. And I asked them why they're down there. They said, we're just tired. We're tired of the government stealing all of our money. We're tired of the banks getting all the money from the. We're just tired of this. We think it's time for a change. And that was great. And so anyway, all these Tea Party people are meeting. And it's not really organized. People are just showing up. I don't know if you remember in the Nevada desert, which is real close to where our top secret broadcasting compound is. We almost got discovered. Okay, but anyway, outside of Las Vegas, there was a Tea Party rally out there, and there was pictures of cars lined up for miles, RVs, people camped out, and they were there showing up in support. I hate to call it a rebellion because they weren't really rebelling against anything. They weren't breaking any laws. Nobody was shot, mugged, raped, murdered. Nobody was urinated on at these Tea Party rallies. People were there expressing their right to an opinion. I went to the Claire McCaskill meeting, Senator Claire McCaskill, one of the senators from the state of Missouri, who is a Democrat, who got up there and lied through her teeth and said, I'm going to examine this health care bill, and if I don't like it, I won't vote for it. Well, she voted for it, okay? And so anyway, I was at that meeting, videotaped everything. There was a fight that broke out. People had to come in and arrest some people and this and that and the other, and I got it all on tape. And that was about all that happened. There was people there that were union, non-union, labor. They were old people. They were young people. They were asking questions, and they were going, we don't want you messing with our health insurance. And that was all great, okay? The Department of Homeland Insecurity comes out after that, starts issuing one report after another. The Southern Poverty Law Center is doing the same thing, telling people, warning the FBI and local law enforcement agencies, these Tea Party people, they're terrorists. We need to watch them. In fact, if you're a law enforcement agency and you're driving down the streets and you see a car with a bumper sticker that says "Keep the Change," and it has a picture of Obama with a slash through it, you might want to follow them. They probably are terrorists, okay? If you see a bumper sticker in a car that says "You can have my guns when you pry them from my cold, dead fingers," you better watch these people. They're terrorists, and so you remember that stuff. They labeled all of the Tea Party people who were showing up at meetings, holding signs, and saying, "We don't like you spending all of our money." There were no fights. There was no one stabbed. There were no women raped. There were no children who were, and I got some things to talk about this thing, about the Occupy people. But none of these things with the Tea Party people happened. It just wasn't there. And yet our government labeled me, a terrorist. So the Occupy, and by the way, when the meeting is over, when the Tea Party meeting is over, and the last speech has been made, everybody claps their hands and applauds and waves to people, and then they get in their car and they go home. Okay? And you know, and they got a cup in their hand, they got a drink cup in their hand, and they take their last drink and they throw it into a trash can. Okay? There was a porta potty out there, one of these green, you know, Johnny on the spots. And when people had to go to the restroom, when we're there passing out flyers, you know, hey, you know, Pastor, I got to go. Where's the bathroom? Oh, it's over there. There's a Johnny on the spot there. There's about 5 of them. Use those. Nobody from our church ever had the inclination, while we were passing out these little flyers at the Tea Party meeting, to say, hey, watch this, and urinate on the ground. So in come the young hippies of the Occupy Wall Street crowd. They were Occupy D.C., Occupy Wall Street. They were here in St. Louis at Keener Plaza, occupying Keener Plaza, Occupy St. Louis. I remember going up downtown with my son-in-law, and this was actually when the World Series was going on, and we saw these tents at Keener Plaza. And my son-in-law asked me, he said, what are all those tents for? And I said, I think these are people that are waiting for Cardinal baseball tickets, World Series tickets. I think they're camped out here waiting to get baseball tickets. He's going, man, that's crazy. I said, yeah, that's crazy. That's not what they were doing. It wasn't people waiting to get good baseball tickets. It was people, as part of the Occupy St. Louis saying, that under the guise of free speech, made a tent, went down to Keener Plaza and camped out and wanted everybody to feed them, everybody to take care of them, and they're just camping out there and living there. There is nothing in the Constitution that guarantees someone the right to free speech and a place to live while they're doing it. There's nothing there. And so you've heard the news stories, and this is what makes me angry. The Occupy people, whether it's Wall Street, D.C., New York, St. Louis, or wherever it's been, here's some of the things that have been going on. You've heard yesterday. In fact, here's the article that kind of got my attention on this. Secret Service searched Occupy D.C. camp for person who shot at White House. Somebody took a pot shot at the White House. Was it yesterday or the day before? Okay. And the Secret Service was going, it came from over there, and there was all these tents in this little tent village of the Occupy D.C. people. Okay. Nobody at the Tea Party did that. So far as the Occupy people concerned, you have people taking pot shots at the President of the United States, and they're not terrorists. You had people who were urinating and defecating all over the place. Okay? They were not using the porta potties. They were just going. Okay? They were just going. Wherever they wanted to. You had some women raped in different places at these meetings. You had several people shot, as some were murdered in cold blood at these meetings. In one case, you had a guy who was doing the nasty to himself in front of children at an Occupy rally. You had people there who were doing drugs, selling drugs. You had people there who were only there to pick up women or pick up men. So you had rapes, murders, you had child endangerment, you had drugs, you had sex, you had everything in the world. Then you had all these people housed up there and angry that a judge said you can't live there. You can't, there's nothing that says you have a right to live there. It's our right to free speech. No, it isn't. And these Occupy, the Tea Party rallies were always in the evening or on a Saturday afternoon. Do you know why? They scheduled the Tea Party meetings for after work. The Occupy Wall Street meetings were always done during the day because these people didn't have a job. And then here's something else here. Boy, I'm on a roll here. I made a list, okay, and I checked it twice. Just kidding. And I decided to just kind of organize what I did today. I don't know that I'll do that. I would not establish that as a pattern as far as organization is concerned. Somebody sent me this super committee lobbying, 200 companies, 12 members. Super committee, you know what that is? our founding fathers had a three-tiered form of government: the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. It was called the system of checks and balances, in that not one branch of the government had more power than the other. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Rather than having a king or a dictator say, "This is how I want it," we're supposed to have it with the checks and balances system. But Congress, on this last deal, said, we got a better idea. We're going to come up with a super committee, 6 and 6, 6 from the House and 6 from the Senate, and they're going to have like the big final authority on stuff, so they won't have any more log jams in Congress. And the reason why this, I want you to look at the picture. Somebody sent me this today, and it was just, I'm going to kind of research this a little bit, or you can do the work for me and send it to me. That'll be okay with me. The picture they took is at the it's in Washington, D.C., and it's at the corner of Pennsylvania Avenue and K Street. Now, the person who sent me this said, "Pastor Mike, been watching your stuff, and you make me think crazy now. Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. That's a Masonic emblem. The letter K is a Masonic letter because it's the 11th letter. The KKK is 111111. And here at the corner of Pennsylvania and K is the 2300 block of Pennsylvania and the 2300 block of K. 23 and 23, 46. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So if you want to do a little research on that, maybe it shows up neat on the map. I haven't looked at the map yet. This just came in today. Send me an email. Let's see here. I do this. This is about gun control. Obama pushing shooters off public lands. Gun owners who have historically been able to use public lands for target practice would be barred from potentially millions of acres under new rules drafted by the Interior Department. Nobody in this country votes on anybody who works at the Interior Department. We don't vote on them. Anyway, the first major move by the Obama administration to impose limits on firearms. Officials say the administration is concerned about the potential clash between gun owners and encroaching urban populations who like to use same land for hiking and dog walking. So, and somebody had suggested today that this shooting was going to somebody taking one of these peaceful, law-abiding citizens at the Occupy D.C. protest with an AK-47. Which they found. It was just laying there. And I'm going, I don't know about that. Somebody has suggested they're going to use this as a way to control guns. And I think it's highly, highly possible. My daughter, Alicia, was out shopping. And she said, "Daddy Waddy, guess what I found?" Okay, now, I want you to, before I show you this picture, I want you to, I saw something like this several years ago. My wife and I did. We were in like a Barnes & Noble or something like that in a bookstore. And right up by the counter, I've talked about this in one of our videos, right up close to the front counter was a book. And there was several of them, but there was a book. It was all nice and pink. And it was called The Little Girl's Book of Spells. And it just had a real nice, pink, pretty cover for it. And it was right about eye level, someone about, 10 to 12 years old. It was just right there. Okay, they didn't have to go to the back and look for it. They didn't have to go in the occult section and find it. It was right there. It's what's called a, what is it, when they put stuff up by the counter? Anyway, they put chewing gum and National Enquirer and cigarette lighters and stuff that you don't need. They put it right there at the counter to just grab you.